Hey retail ambassadors, Ryan coming to you from San Diego, California. Today I'm going to talk to you about our Endurolytes full spectrum electrolyte products. Electrolytes, as we previously discussed, are like the oil in a car. They're not helping to fuel you necessarily, but these are the minerals in our body that help conduct nerve impulses. These impulses are responsible for really every function in our body. When we run low on electrolytes, the most common symptom, or what you'll hear your customers often complain about, is muscle cramping. There are electrolytes, as previously discussed, in Heed and Perpetuum. Now, I'll be upfront and say that this is a baseline or a foundation of electrolytes. The average person, especially competing at a high level, or someone who's a heavy sweater, this amount of electrolytes will not be enough. So the next question, or obvious question, is why don't you put more electrolytes in the sport drink, Heed or Perpetuum? The answer is honestly, for most, the drink wouldn't be palpable if you started upping the minerals in those drinks. The other part, and probably maybe more importantly, is that of all the Hammer fuels or all the products that we carry, electrolyte supplementation is probably the most individualized thing that you can do, meaning that it's very difficult for me to tell you how many electrolytes or which of the products is best for you, and that's something that you'll really need to encourage your customers to practice in training. In the Endurolytes line, there are the Endurolytes regular capsules, there are the extreme capsules, and I'll tell you a bit more about what those are all about. There is the powdered form, which you can scoop right into a bottle, and there is the Endurolytes Fizz products, which is an effervescent tablet that you put in a water bottle, dissolves, has the electrolytes, but also a little bit of light flavoring. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about each of these products. I'll start with the Endurolytes capsules. So as mentioned, there was the regular form and the Endurolytes Extreme. And the difference, you would only tell by looking at the labels. The Extreme has about 3 times the potency of the regular Endurolytes capsules. In a regular Endurolytes capsule, you have such minerals as sodium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, potassium, vitamin B6, and manganese. Now, in cheaper products out there, or maybe some of our competitors, they really dial in or focus in on just the sodium end of it. Now at Hammer, we believe, and as science proves, each of these minerals plays a different role in a bodily function. It's not just sodium. So we provide a full spectrum electrolyte product, and what we consider a more balanced electrolyte product. So Endurolytes has all those minerals. It is a capsule that you would take anywhere from 1 to, I've heard of people taking 8 an hour. Really depends on, are you a heavy sweater? How long are you competing? Is it hot out? What kind of competition you're in? These are all the sorts of things you need to play with. So there are the regular Endurolytes capsules. The Extreme, so 3 times the potency. Really who you're catering to with this is the extreme endurance athlete. Now for me, doing ultra endurance stuff, it makes sense to pack in the Extreme product because I don't have to carry as many of the capsules. 3 times the potency, remember that. You have someone that has severe cramping, again, maybe direct them this route, okay? So this is meant for those ultra distance, ultra efforts, okay? Quite often how the capsules will be carried will be in a back pocket, in a small pill case, in a Ziploc bag. Really what you want to watch out for is that they don't come into contact with sweat or water that you might be dumping on your head, because the capsules will begin to break down. The next form of Endurolytes is the Endurolytes powder. Now admittedly, I stayed away from this for the longest time because I couldn't justify in my head why you'd want to put these maybe bitter tasting minerals right in a water bottle with your Heed or Perpetuum. But what I've since learned, and what I find really interesting actually, is that Hammer has included an amino acid in the mix that actually neutralizes the salty or that bitter taste that you think you might get. So this is a product that you put right in your water bottle. This particular case is 150 servings, and again, it's just a different delivery mechanism. Why that is, interestingly enough, another thing that I've learned is that, you know, some people actually have a hard time swallowing capsules. So this is a form of getting in those electrolytes in your bottle without having to swallow anything. Fourth and final product in the Endurolytes line is the Endurolytes Fizz. These are effervescent tablets. There's 13 in a tube that you drop in a water bottle. Now each tab is equivalent to about 2 of the Endurolytes, the regular capsules, as far as potency goes. So you put the effervescent tablet in your water bottle, it dissolves. The good thing about it is it mixes right into a drink, kind of like the Endurolytes powder. The difference is that it also has a bit of light, natural flavoring, okay? Where I've found this product particularly great is throughout the day. So to add it to your water bottle, so not necessarily during competition. You think about all those people that are sitting at a desk that have a can of Coke or something always next to them. This is a good way to encourage people to drink more water. Gives the extra electrolytes, keeps your levels topped up, especially if you're an athlete competing on a regular basis. Encourages you to drink that water. So a recap on how I would use or who I would market the Endurolytes products to. First of all, everyone who's competing or an athlete should be taking in more electrolytes than what's provided in their regular sport drink. They can take those in the form of the regular Endurolytes capsules. These would be for the regular athlete under regular conditions who has no particular cramping problems but wants to keep their levels topped up. Because although you might not be cramping, remember there's always that fine line between surviving and thriving. So you can always be giving your body more than you think it needs, okay? So the regular capsules. The Endurolytes Extreme capsules are for those ultra distance efforts, so 3 times the potency. The Endurolytes powder for those athletes that can't or choose not to swallow capsules and want to put something right in their bottle. Another example is the person that just doesn't want to carry the capsules, okay? So eliminate a bit of the hassle, put it right in your bottle. And lastly, the Endurolytes Fizz, which can be used during competition, but is really great for a product to have in your water bottle throughout the day. 2 points to leave you with. First, I really can't stress how many athletes do not have a good handle on their electrolyte situation. Now you can probably appreciate that understanding what heat and perpetuum are is probably the first step in the learning curve. You know, understanding when to use a product for 2 hours, when to use a product for the longer distance, the 3 hours. That's a pretty steep learning curve. It seems simple, but it is steep, okay? Now electrolytes only throw a curveball into the mix. And you know, I'm often faced with competitor products that really go for the all-in-one approach. And as an educator, this is easy for you to push this stuff, but I really got to stress that there's a very strong case, as with all of our products, to separate calories from electrolytes in this particular situation, okay? Everyone is very different when it comes to their electrolyte needs, and I can't just put something in a bottle and make sure it works. And even if I did, say that heavy sweater, you can imagine if I put in, say an average drink had 4 electrolyte capsules in it, but maybe this person needed 8. Okay, if they went for the all-in-one drink approach, this drink that has 4 capsules equivalent in it, they'd have to drink 2 bottles of water an hour or 2 bottles of the solution an hour to get those 8. Now the average person can only process about 1 water bottle an hour, so you can see how this creates an issue, okay? So as an educator, you need to really tell people that there's a case to have these things separate. They also need to really practice this, okay? Dial this in. It's amazing, especially in warm weather conditions, to see people play around with the electrolyte products and like kind of have an aha moment. You'd be really surprised to learn how many people think that having cramps or muscle aches or hydration issues is just kind of like part of the process. And you really have to tell them that no, that's not the case, okay? These products are meant for you to not get to the finish line and be suffering, okay? Well, you want to be suffering physically, but not to be suffering from cramps and not enough calories, okay? These products are meant to take care of all that, okay? Last thing, I thought I'd share with you a fun little story about how I was introduced to the Endurolytes products. So into the 2008 Race Across America. So this is a road cycling race that goes from Oceanside, California, all the way to the east coast of the USA. You have to complete it in under 12 days. The first day you go up and over the coastal range in California and you descend into Death Valley. So this is like the hottest part of the world at the hottest time of the year, okay? Up until this point, I was depending solely on my HEED electrolyte drink. I was very much a rookie when it came to nutrition, which is surprising considering the weight of the task that I was undertaking. Anyways, riding through Death Valley and started to feel a twinge in my calf muscle, which then started to become a twinge in my bicep, a twinge in my neck, and before I knew it, I was actually experiencing a full body cramp. It actually got so bad to the point where I couldn't pedal, I couldn't press on my own brakes or my own shifters, and I just froze on the bike. And my crew sensed this and watched as I rolled right into their arms, and they had to pull me off the bike. They sat me down in a seat on the side of the road, and my father pulled out a pack of the Endurolytes and opened them up, put 8 of them in my hand and said, "Here, chew these." So I put them right in my mouth, and instead of swallowing them and giving them the time to digest, I chewed them up, I broke them open, swallowed them, and immediately within 15 minutes that cramp started to go away. That full body cramp started to dissipate. So I am a true believer, and I'm telling you that this is not voodoo magic. This is not just an add-on sale for the sake of selling something. This is a necessary product that works, okay? I look forward to your questions. I'm going to be traveling the next week here from California back up to Canada through Whitefish, Montana and Hammer headquarters. But I will do my best to answer them in the mornings and at night. So thanks everyone for participating, and I will see you in the online conversation. Cheers.